Greetings, CPC, and welcome to this initial edition of What's Your Staff Been Up to? Short answer, a lot. But how are you supposed to know unless we keep you up to date? So this is our attempt to do so. I have with me here my iPhone, my iPad, and my Bible, the three inanimate objects that I've been spending most of my time with during these COVID days. In lieu of personal pastoral visits, which of course I prefer, I have instead been making phone calls galore, especially to members who are struggling during this devastating pandemic. I look forward to talking with you and checking up on how you're doing during this challenging time. My iPad is where I conduct many of my Zoom meetings, where I write my sermons, and where I receive and compose emails throughout the week. If I ever have difficulty recalling the activities that a particular month or week has held, all I have to do is check the contents of my iPad for a mighty remembrance. And my Bible, though I termed it inanimate, is in reality the gateway to God's living word in my life. I, of course, read lots of other things, but the scripture has always captured my imagination with its history, stories, parables, and wisdom. I look forward and cannot wait to see all of you up close and personal again. But until then, I will stay in touch through this and this and this. And speaking of staying in touch with a lot of things, Katie Chop, our church secretary, will now share with you some of what she's been doing on behalf of CPC. Katie?
Hi, CPC. While you haven't seen my face in the office these last few months, I'm still the one behind CPC's digital communication. Each week, along with the meetings and individual emails and calls, I write the emails and Facebook posts that keep us all connected. I help to schedule and troubleshoot every Zoom meeting, and I go to a lot of them. Since March, CPC has met together through Zoom over 170 times and gotten over 60 email communications from me. That's a lot of togetherness. Thank you for sending me all your announcements and your joys and concerns to share with everyone at CPC. Next, you'll hear from Jenny Foley, CPC's business manager. Jenny, what have you been doing while we've all been working in new ways?
Hi, CPC. Since we've been apart, I've been working on a variety of tasks, including the 2019 audit, working with the stewardship committee on the 2021 campaign, and several all-church mailings. I've also been working with the reopening our church task force to procure enough supplies to have on hand when we do open. When you do return, instead of finding hymnals and Bibles in the pew, you will find these instead, these cute little hand sanitizers. I've also been working with In God's Hands, our custodial service, to map out a plan to keep everything clean and sanitized for both now when we are shuttered and have essential staff, and also when everyone does return to the building. Other than that, I do the majority of my work, of course, from home, working remotely, paying all of the bills, doing payrolls, processing offerings. I come in once a week, normally on Mondays, and meet with the church treasurer and another individual to process the offerings and have any checks signed that I cannot pay remotely. Church work for me has been quite normal, other than the fact that instead of seeing everyone in person, everything is now on Zoom or conference calls. I do miss seeing everybody and look forward to the time when we can all return and be together again. Next up, we have the very talented Jen McClung, who is our Director of Contemporary Music.
Hey everybody, this is an update from the worship band. Well, from me really. Most weeks it's just me by myself playing music and recording it for you all. Although I have had the luck of having some friends come through in the last couple weeks and in the last month. Ellie Mae came in a few weeks ago and we were able to record some songs together, and it was so wonderful to have someone else to sing with and to play with. And as you've seen, Anderson, our guitar player, was in town a month and a half ago or so, and we recorded some songs as well. But otherwise, the regular band guys, we really haven't seen much of each other, if at all, and we're all missing playing together live on Sunday mornings and the energy that you all bring from singing together and worshiping together. So we're missing that. We are trying to come up with some creative ideas, some thinking outside the box about how we can offer music and worship through music in some different ways than we have so far. So keep your eyes and ears open for those ideas that should be coming out soon. And that's about all of the updates I've got for us. I just miss seeing everybody, and I hope you're all healthy and doing well, and we'll see you when I see you, but otherwise I suppose we'll see each other online.
This summer, Linda Fouquet and Doug and I cleaned out the choir room, which involved going through all of the music files, discarding damaged copies, reorganizing. It was a big job, but we had just a great fun afternoon doing it with lots of laughs. I understand that Doug is working on another one of his skills, and that happens to be on the golf course.
Hello, all my friends of Collegiate Presbyterian Church, from myself and my daughters, Sarah and Laura. First off, I want you to know how much I miss being in a real church service situation, and very much look forward to getting back to our normal ways of worship, which I'm sure you are also. But I do appreciate the extra efforts of our staff, ministers, and Tim for making the virtual services so wonderful. I very much miss my church choir family, but I've been keeping in touch with them by reaching out with many phone calls and very wonderful conversations. I feel like I know more about my CPC family now than I knew after 18 years of serving our congregation. So much information that sometimes I need to have it repeated to me the next time we chat. My girls and I have been preparing some special music and hymns during the pandemic, and it has truly been our privilege to do so. I also would like to thank our musicians from our church choir that have put in the extra time to prepare anthems, quartets, trios, and solos. But most of all, I would like to thank our wonderful organist and accompanist, Laura Grange, for all her extra efforts to make everything happen. Without her talents and time, none of the music you hear and see on Sundays would be possible. I wish you all the best and look forward to seeing you as soon as possible.
And a couple of other notes. In regards to university ministry, a task force has been formed. It is called the Transitional University Ministry Strategy Task Force, to be exact. Elder Dennis V. Hill is the chair of that task force, and they'll be looking into university ministry, analyzing our current ministry, and suggesting ways to go forward. In regards to children and youth, something similar will probably be put together very soon, as we also look forward to going in the future into children and youth ministry and what will happen there. In closing, we hope that this has been a helpful update on what your staff have been busy doing. And thank you to all of you viewing this for your continued support, for the freedom you've given us to work safely from home, and for the encouragement to continue to minister effectively during these interesting and unprecedented times. It is our privilege to be working alongside you, and it continues to be our joy to serve you. The Lord be with you, and blessings.